Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Black Health and Wealth Show. I am your host, Kevin Boyer, and today I have with me Andre C. Hatchett. Way too many hats to name. I mean, we've got owner be owned, we've got the real estate school, the notary school, the public speaking. But today we're going to focus on two things. We're going to focus on Owner Be Owned, which is a book, documentary clothing line that Andre has out. And we're going to talk about passive income.
Bingo. Sounds like a plan for me.
So let's start with Owner Be Owned. Where did that come from? How did you get started on that? I mean, a lot of folks have ideas of making films and books and stuff, but don't go through with it. So talk us through that.
Will do. First of all, Brother Kevin, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man, and an honor. I know that I'm talking to you, I'm doing something right in my life. So, yeah, it's going good. So, Owner Be Owned. I started saying it a couple of years ago. I would love to figure out where exactly it came from, but it's basically just my philosophy. So, if you don't, it was probably something to do with probably us, maybe in the job force, maybe they're looking for jobs, half of the black male unemployment, half of the black male being unemployed. It could have been that, or it could have been an Oscar or a Grammy snubbing. And I'm like, dude, like, we don't own it. So we're being owned by them.
Right.
And it became a catchphrase. And people just said, if they would see me, they would say, yo, Owner Be Owned, yo, I heard you talk about that. Yo, it makes sense. I was like, maybe I got something here. So I've been running with it. And now it's just become its own brand, per se. Clothing, books, and a documentary that's coming out. It's something that, if we get to the core of, in my viewpoint, our biggest issue in this country is lack of finances, lack of ownership, lack of everyday control of our destiny. If we have that, if we know that, if we have that as the end game, as the goal, I find we'll have a better quality of life for us and our families.
Okay, so now with the Owner Be Owned, we know that you just talked about the finances and the money. That goes back to the whole financial literacy piece. So we know that is a big elephant in the room. So would you say that for folks that want to own, that they should maybe pick a lane to go into and learn that? Or are there just so many different things into becoming financially literate that they need to try to take all of this on, because it can be overwhelming at times?
Yeah, it can be very overwhelming. So if someone's on the outside of the financial literacy game, looking at it and say, I know I want to be part of it, I don't know what I want to do, I would do something boring and simple that has a proven track record. So I'm not a big believer in the whole passion thing. You have to be passionate about everything you do. There are 60% of things I do, I'm not passionate about them at the moment, but I'm passionate about the end game. So if I'm passionate about it, I have an income stream which today may help me make $45 via passive income, and I didn't have to be there. It was literally 2 phone calls, 2 emails, $45. I'm paid my subcontractor. I was not passionate about that, but the $45 I made, I can go spend that on a date at a black-owned restaurant with a lovely queen. So get over the whole passion shit, all right? Kev, not you, but anyone. You're passionate about the actual thing, and people say, well, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. If you can have that, that is great. That might come later, or it might never come. Go for strong life. So I would actually get involved in owning a piece of property, and even before then, I would put some money into some marijuana stocks. I would buy some marijuana stocks just to get the ball rolling. Because once we get in the habit of investing in delayed gratification, it just alters your mind, it alters your friendship circle, and it alters everything you're doing. So start small. I would get some marijuana stocks to start off with, and I would get a piece of real estate, and go down the list from there.
Okay, now, we know that in the stock market that one of the things is buy low, sell high. Okay, so my question to you is, when you're doing that, the stock market right now is off the charts.
Yep.
So would you consider looking at something like the foreign exchange market, which is open, 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday, as opposed to like the stock market that's only open on a certain set of hours, where a lot of folks are on their day job and don't have time to check it and, you know.
Great question. So the foreign exchange market, I would love to tell people to get into it, but I haven't gotten into it, so I can't do it with that much conviction, but it's something we should be looking into.
Okay.
I believe my man Evan is doing some teaching on that. I'm just not there yet personally, and I friends who are, and they love it. Like the whole Forex thing.
Right.
They freaking love this thing. Like, I'm like, I'll get in there, but I got it. I'm doing this stuff. I can't do it right now. So I'm a big believer in starting, just getting the ball rolling. So if you can go that route, it might be better, but I know today. So in my stock account, I'm up to $264.74, and that is 44.25%. So I know that this is winning. So for me, this is working. So I'm gonna keep this going up until I am able to learn about that, then go there. So This is easy. This you can start in 1 to 3 business days. Get that going. Get something going. Mm-hmm. Then get into the technical things and more advanced things at a later date.
Okay. Now, you talked about real estate. Okay. Now,
it's cool, man.
Huh?
It's cool. Real estate's fun, right?
I'm not saying that real estate's not fun.
I'm just saying it's fun.
I'm just moving on to the next topic.
Okay. All right. I'm fine. You're the man. I'm just understudy.
I am not pulling the real estate rug from underneath you, bro. Please believe me. So with real estate, we know that in 2008, a lot of black folks lost their shirts in real estate.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you're talking about investing in real estate, that's totally different than, buying this house that you live in. So when you say invest, and are you talking about locally? You talking about nationally? You talking about internationally? And in addition to that, how much money are people needing to start?
When I talk about invest, it can be the house that you're living in, or it can be a house that someone else lives in, or it could be vacant land, or it could be a condo, or it could be whatever. I just want us to be involved in the process. So I'm a believer that if you're first starting out, in certain areas it's easier to do than others. I would try to look, especially if you don't make a ton of money, if you're like right there above your means, and especially if you have family members alongside of you are renting as well. I would look for a multi-family property to live in and rent out units to some family members or strangers or whatever the case may be. But I would look into a multi-family unit property to live in, 2 units, 4 units, 6 units, 8 units, 12 units, on up. I would look at that as the first avenue. Then I would look for city-owned properties. I would look for city-owned properties because they're usually under market value. And I would look into a buy and hold situation in an up-and-coming city that before the scary G word gentrifiers come in and buy property. So that's what I would do if I was starting out. And I would also look about getting properties, condominiums in desirable travel destination resort areas, because the whole Airbnb model, and now we have a company called Inclusive that is black owned, where you have tenants go stay in your house on a short-term basis, 2 nights, 5 nights, 3 nights, 2 weeks, and you could actually have a cool place to vacation to with your family as well. So those would be the avenues that I would start in personally, and I would scale down from there.
Okay. Now, there are cities around the country like Detroit, Baltimore, that have large swaths of abandoned buildings that are torn down. I mean, I saw just recently there was an apartment building, it's like a 20-unit building in Detroit for $50,000. Now,
sure? Damn.
Oh, oops.
Did you buy it?
No, I didn't buy it. I was looking at another 13-unit building that got sold from underneath me. It was actually somebody paid more than what I was offering. So, yeah.
What you offer?
It was actually going for $25. I actually offered them $22.5, and they actually sold it for $38.
Damn. Okay, a little bit higher. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So they sold it for $38. So I'm looking at some other stuff, but some of when you're an out-of-state investor, how do you want to keep your property protected, you want to keep your property safe. How do you recommend people do those things so that somebody's not stealing the pipes out of the building or the copper out of the building, or as you get windows put in, the windows aren't getting broken out, those kinds of things?
You do what Robert Kiyosaki said in one of his famous lines, one of his many famous lines, is you do what you do, then you pay other people well to do what they do. So you have a property management company who specializes in that because that's what they do. And I would try to find someone who only does that, not a property management company who also does taxes and right. travel and other stuff. Have a company who just does property management, manage the property, because we need to get more out of the self-employed realm, which is a great start. It's a great start for freedom and entrepreneurship, and more into the business owner and investor realm. So we need to we can't do everything. We need right. to, and we need to have a mindset of, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to have people manage it. I'm going to do this and have people manage it. So it's more of a passive income thing than I have to get calls at 12 midnight when you're out with your family thing. No. Have a property manager do it. They do it all the time. And I would even advise, even if it is in your local area, to have a company manage property so it can free you up so you can go find more properties.
Right. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I know I see this on your timeline. I've seen it on my timeline, different social media posts on other people's timelines. People talking about buying a home. Like yes. in the next year, I want to buy myself a house. Yes. Do you consider a house an asset or a liability?
Okay. For Black people or for mankind?
You take your pick. You answer the question however you desire.
I'm going to do it for Black people first. For us as Black people first. We need to do certain things for our pride, period. Especially as Black people, we need to do certain things for our pride, our manhood, our dignity, and for control. So having something that's yours that you can go home to, even if it's not bringing in other income, even if it's not a multi-unit, even if it's cost you money every month, we should do it just for those reasons I named right there. Does the house go up in value? Does the house have a chance of going up in value? Yes. Does the house have tax write-offs? Yes. So is it an immediate asset? That's what it should be. It should be, is it an immediate asset? Usually not. Usually it will take some years for you to get all the perks of it, to refinance, if the equity, if it goes up in value, you can have equity in it to be able to refinance and cash out, things like that. That could take a few years to have. But it is an asset, but it's not an immediate asset, in my opinion. Which is why I'm a big believer in getting a multifamily property first, and then getting a primary residence. If you just don't want to bother with tenants, you can get the multi-unit property first, live in that, rent out your unit, then go get a single family in another location, and have the rental property pay off your mortgage as a single family property.
That right, as opposed to just going out and buying now I can understand that. I can definitely see that as a better option.
Yeah, let's call it a delayed asset. And a lot of times, if you look at the rents, especially in the major cities, the rents are oftentimes higher or within the same ballpark. At least the house you have the ability to pay off. And now again, if you want to go with the inclusive or Airbnb model, you can rent out a room in that puppy with ease. A few nights here. I had a friend, Kev. He lives in Silicon Valley. He rented out his apartment. Him and his wife went to Florida for their birthday, for his birthday, and they made money while they were in Florida for the birthday.
Okay. Right now, doing the Airbnb model.
Yeah. There are ways to freak it. So, delayed asset. It's a delayed asset.
Okay. And the reason why I asked that is because I live in Prince George's County, Maryland. Okay. Prince George's County is considered
upper crust.
The wealthiest Black community in county in the nation. Houses in this county didn't, as houses have gone up in other counties or recovered from 2000. That hasn't happened in Prince George's County as quickly.
Okay.
So you still have a lot of Black folks that they have their houses, they own their houses, but their houses may be upside down. Okay. Or they may be barely above water. I mean, I had a neighbor was it over the weekend? They just walked away from their house.
Wow.
Our neighborhood was on ABC News because people were squatting in the neighborhood and actually renting out houses to people, and they didn't even own the house.
Oh.
So they would go down to the courthouse, try to change the deed or whatever, and then rent this house out to other people, change the locks, rent it out to other people. We had police in the neighborhood like 6 o'clock in the morning, taking folks out of these houses. But here it hasn't happened like it has in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
Personally, I think part of that is by design, but that's a whole nother topic for us to discuss.
Yeah. There are definitely situations like that community where that's happened, but also have to look at things like the quality of life. How's the quality of life? Is it better? The network of people who you have in the neighborhood who you could do other things with. So even if house value isn't there, are there other things that have helped you out as being a bystander in the area that have helped you grow your asset column as well? There are a lot of ways to skim the cat.
Right. Now, you talked about owning land. We know that land, buying land as as an investment. Land we know is finite.
Mm-hmm.
You can bank land.
Yeah.
And you can, and hold on to it in the hopes of something, coming into that area. I just saw some land in Oregon.
Okay.
It was, 40 acres, came with no mule, but it was $7,000.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. But in Oregon, it's considered the worst. If you list their counties from top to bottom, it's considered the bottom county.
Okay.
Now
that might.
Once again, it's land to buy and hold.
Mm-hmm.
You're not necessarily going to, build on it. You might not even live on it anytime soon, but it becomes part of the portfolio. And it's probably not providing you any type of income because it looks like it's just flat, grassy land.
Okay.
Almost like a ranch type thing. And there's just to throw it out there, there's parts of Texas that are like that as well.
Yep.
In the western part of Texas.
A lot. And veterans get a whole lot of breaks in Texas too for those lands. So if you're a veteran, you might want to check that out as well. There are a lot of opportunities for veterans to buy land out there.
Okay. Well, definitely need to check that out. So let's talk about this passive income. Okay. There are multiple ways to get passive income. There's, through the real estate like we've discussed. There's, through other investments that you can make. You talked about the stock market, things like that. What other types of passive income suggestions do you have, recommend?
I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you. I like to prove what I do. I think that helps set me apart from, a lot of other people out there who are just talking about stuff. So this is a book. It's called Own or Be Owned. The Black Man's Guide to Wealth Creation. This copy on the way to you. That you prefer to sit in.
No, don't forget, mine is autographed.
Yes, yours is autographed. So this book is created to give a semi-blueprint for Black men on what to do and what not to do. Not perfect. I took a lot of other things I did wrong in this book. And I feel that it's motivational, it's challenging, and it's detail-oriented enough to say, okay, check this. I disagree with this, Dre, but this I agree with. Okay, bang. So this book is an asset. It cost me a few $100 to publish and to get everything done with, editing, all that stuff. So this book can sell forever and bring in revenue. So this actually is book. This book is part of my parents' retirement plan. They don't know it, but so each dollar that I make from the book, it will go into an account and it'll be good, and I'll put it towards my parents' retirement plan. So every book that's sold, it's an asset. So I'll break even with this book in about a week or two.
Okay.
After that, it's all profit.
Right.
So a book. That's one. My mobile notary business system that I have. I charge the company. He works. I charge the guy. He needed an IRA document notarized in Manhattan. Charged him $135. I could have charged him $150. Charged him $135. And I paid my friend, his name is Mike, $90. So I made $45. I forget what percentage that is off of the deal.
Okay.
I didn't have to go anywhere. Passive income is when you're able to, and it involves work. It involves work to set up. So I don't want to be on any MLM easy, go easy, sleep all day crap, right? This takes work to start up, takes money to start up. But once you've done it, you're able to live off of it without it having to be there. So I'm in Georgia. I'm not in Manhattan. I was able to conduct the job with my friend Mike and have him do it, pay him everything from the couch or the table. So those are a few systems right there. This clothing line, I don't have to hold any orders myself. Everything is done via drop shipping. So I pay for designs. I did all the trademarking and all that good stuff. Now I can have a website in place, ownerbeowned.co, ownerbeowned.co. You can go there, place an order. I'll make a small profit off of each shirt and hoodie that's sold, and I don't have to hold and carry everything, or even go to the post office. So those are a few things that you could do to bring a passive income. Online courses, I've had about like 3,000 students the past year. This has been my best business to date. Passive income, I don't have to be there. I could be here,
right,
and make income. So there are a lot of ways to do it. I look at things that you can start for less than $1,500 and up. That's kind of my business model. What can you start for less than $1,500 and up, and that can live on past you, and that you can have a PayPal or a Stripe payment confirmation come through in the daytime, nighttime. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Right. Now, do you have the little app on your phone that lets you know every time a sale is made that goes cha-ching?
Well, it doesn't do that, but I should do that. I should do that. And I like to, again, I like to be a person of action, not just challenging people. I teach what I know, and if you go to passiveincomeschool.com, thepassiveincomeschool.com, I will show you literally step by step. I'm a very one-on-one guy. I don't know a lot of big words, and I don't try to act like I do. So I just show people what I've done and what my friends have done and how they can make an honest living off of passive income to either take over their whole income bracket or to supplement their income bracket.
Okay. So you just mentioned your schools. Now, when your students take your courses, do they have like lifetime access to the information? Is it a limited time access? Once they pay for the course.
Great question. There is lifetime access, but they have to pay for it. So for this course that I just mentioned, all the videos, all the coursework will be included with the fee for 120 days. And if they want to pass that, it will be $14.95 a month.
Okay. So it's sort of like the online insurance schools or whatever. You get a certain period of time to get your information, get yourself certified or whatever, and then if you need to renew or need to extend, then you can continue to do that.
Bingo. Yeah. We have alumni pricing, so after that time period, they pay a way steeper discounted rate. Okay.
So Drake, tell me, how can folks get in touch with you outside of finding you on this interview?
They can find me if they think that I'm worthy to be found. Andre.
Oh, here we go.
Andre.
Here we go.
ANDRECHATCHE.
Okay.
Everything that I do there, so you can pick the course that you want to enroll in, buy the book, buy some gear, or just send me an email and tell me what's up, and we can scale down.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you being on with us today. Is there anything else you want to share with folks before we get out of here?
If you don't learn from me, it's cool. I wish you would, but that's great. Please, in some level, get involved in the passive income game, whether it be real estate, clothing, a book, land, and think in terms of delayed gratification and long term. We have a lot of people who become addicted to shortcuts, not just in our community, just in life in general. And for people who are addicted to shortcuts, they don't get very far in life. So think long term, put in the hours. You're gonna have time periods where your life literally just might suck, but it's worth it as long as you're doing it consistently to get towards the goal. So be involved in it. I almost died. I was in a car accident in August. I got run over by a truck. Like literally. could have easily died. And if I didn't have my online teaching platforms, I don't know what I would have done. Thank
Right.
God I did. So get involved in the passive income game, stay in it, put the time, put the hours in, and I wish you guys the best.
All right. Thank you again. We appreciate it.
I can be the man.
All righty, man.
Peace.